Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino. Still Thursday, September 26, 2024. Post market wrap up, and this storm out here is looking pretty bad. This wind is kicking up. It is not pretty. Anyway, still got power, so I'm able to get this report out. We have a lot of stuff to talk about today. Let's start off with this GDP number that is being. I mean, if you turn on Fox Business, CNBC, Bloomberg, you pick one of them, and they're like, orgasmic over this GDP number. It's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and it's being portrayed that way. But what is missing here is obviously pretty substantial here, and we do need to talk about that. So according to the government numbers, I know how much you all trust these numbers. So here we go. U.S. economy grew at 3%. 3%. Hold that thought for a moment. Okay. So they're telling us right now that the economy grew at 3%. Well, they're also telling us that inflation is 4%. So let's see. Weighed against inflation, well, the economy is still contracting here. Duh. All right. But you can weigh this against a lot of factors. Anyway, so obviously, we know the inflation numbers are fake. And we're like 3 times higher than that at a minimum. So anyway, U.S. economy grows 3%. And this is great. It's fantastic economic news. It's all a lie anyway. It's propaganda, as you know. And they're going to repeat this fantastic thing. But let's look a little deeper into that. This is trading economics here. Government spending in the United States is recorded at 34.4% of GDP, so more than a third. More than a third. Now, it gets better than that. It gets better than that. Oh, you're going to love this part here. So just hold that thought. I ran this poll earlier. All right, I'm going to read this to you. So, Lions, we just got new U.S. GDP government propaganda numbers, which we will talk about later, meaning right now. Now, with that, and according to these numbers, now 1/3, little over than that, of U.S. GDP is government spending. So, in your opinion, I wrote, do you expect that government spending will continue to become a larger percentage of GDP, or do you expect that government spending will decrease? 3% of you, just three, thankfully, okay, said government spending will decrease. You see that? 97% said you expect it to skyrocket. Well, obviously that's the right answer, but it gets better than that even. So these are some, this chart here is from the Congressional Budget Office. Now, they know something that they don't want you to know. This is their projection moving forward with regard to how much government spending is going to become a part of GDP. Now, this is they're way off. Now, if you look at their projection going out to 2050, we're already at 34.4%. Now, they want you to believe, are you ready for this? That by 2050, it's going to be 40%, just 40% of U.S. GDP. There is no way. We're not going to make it. We are not going to make it that far. I think it's pretty obvious. So anyway, like I said, let me ask you. So our members of Congress, they realize where this is going. They understand that this is going to expand massively. What are they doing about it? Well, we can't even fund. Well, we just found out they just decided that we can now fund our government for the next 3 months. They're going to kick the can down the road. Then they're going to do it again. Do you find this disgusting and revolting? And how many of you believe this 40% number? 40% by 2050? No way. We're going to be at 40% in a couple of years. Forget about 20. By 2050, we will not be here. This entire thing is going to come down. Pretty obvious, right? What else did I get down here? It just talks about how here in fiscal year 20. Oh, listen to this. This is interesting. In fiscal year 2023, the federal government spent $6.13 trillion, which was more than it collected in revenue, resulting in a deficit. We've been running hyper-ballooning debts and deficits throughout this president, the last president, and the one before him, and it just keeps going on now. Listen to this. In fiscal year 24, right now, we're not even through the year, the federal government has already spent $6.29 trillion. And the U.S. deficit for this year is projected to be $1.9 trillion, according to the Congressional Budget Office. This is due to federal government spending more than it has collected in revenue. This is not going to stop. This is not going to stop. And they know it's not going to stop. But you don't hear anything about this. Why didn't it come up in the debate? Instead, they told us the cats and dogs are being eaten by door-to-door Haitians that are going around eating pets. That's what we're really concerned about. They're killing us. They're absolutely murdering us. We're going to talk more about this in a moment now. So I want you to pay attention to this too. So we just got a new record here for the stock market. The S&P 500, rah. Another record. Investors are finally experiencing the everything bull market. Now, why is that happening? Why is basically everything rising? Did you see gold and silver today? You're watching cryptocurrencies today. A lot of movement here with regard to crude oil, which is where that's going to go, I think we all know. But all these issues in the Middle East, now it's Saudi Arabia with now possibly pumping more. A lot of speculation that's what's going on. But this everything, why is this happening? It's a no-brainer here. It's called purchasing power of the dollar, in this case, that's being destroyed. Well, it could be all central bank issue notes are being destroyed, and that is fostering this fake rally. It's not real. It's an illusion. Again, people think this, look at the market. Economy is strong, could not be further from the truth. But then you get all these lies. You get, if you didn't know any better, you would think that maybe this is so great. But again, even weighed against the supposed fantastic growth, it's not, even according to their own numbers, inflation is outpacing growth. Do you see what I'm talking about here? Yeah, I think you do. Can't make it up. And this, I mean, honestly, this should bother you that our lovely, caring representatives know what's going to happen. They know it. They've graphed it, but they are so off here on these figures at 40%. They're projecting 40% by 2050. We're not going to make it that far, but it's kind of astonishing. Honestly, what is this here? Yeah, so anyway, this is the everything rally because of what? Because of easy money, because of artificially suppressed rates, because of currency devaluation. I want to follow this up with something else here. I got such a mess around this desk. It's unbelievable. I wrote this piece a while back. Maybe some of you remember this piece I wrote. Now, I want to cover this again because it's even more pertinent now than it was when I wrote it. It's almost like we can see the future here. And we really can, because all we got to do is connect the freaking dots. It's too simple. So let me read this to you real quick, and we'll go over it again. So anyway, this is what hypereconomics, hyperdebt, and another Great Depression. People, what we're going towards right now, Evan, thank you, is going to make the Great Depression look like a cakewalk. There's no other way. And this is deliberate. This is not by accident. It's out of control, but they're controlling it. Again, they're doing it. We're not going to make it much further. I'm telling you right now, people can focus on issues that the so-called, the two puppets here are talking about. Exercising your gun control rights. I was having a conversation with someone, or abortion rights or whatever. None of this matters. In the grand scheme of things, we're being destroyed. How are we going to exercise our rights if we do not survive? This is a survival issue. This isn't just about where we're going. We are being systematically decimated. We're being made extinct, members of the middle class. So they got you focusing on this, focusing on that. And we got two puppets here working hand in hand with the Fed to bring about hypereconomics, hyperdebt, and another Great Depression. Can't make it up if you try to. Now, this is, again, consider that I wrote this a while back. According to the Congressional Budget Office, U.S. debt is expected to exceed $54 trillion by 2034. With that, the World Economic Forum, WEF, president recently said that we have not seen this kind of debt expansion since the Napoleonic Wars. This is going to continue. Thank you, Mitch. It's not going to stop in our lovely, They know it. They know where this is going. They're not telling you. They want you to look over here, look over there, focus on nonsensical things because you're being eliminated. You're being exterminated. Let us move forward here. Vast debt expansion during the Napoleonic Wars fostered the illusion of economic prosperity. Sound familiar to you? Which led to a post-war depression. What is important to take note of here is vast debt expansion invariably creates an unsustainable illusion of economic prosperity, in this case, the stock market, which also invariably ends in economic disaster and depression. Are we on the same page? Keith, thank you. Absolutely. It's totally like that. The current hyper cycle, again, I wrote this a while back. It's happening here. The current hypercycle of vastly expanding hyperdebt expansion will also lead to another Great Depression on a global scale, not just here in the United States, because a lot of you think that this is a United States problem and it's Biden's fault or it's Trump's fault. It's not their fault. Okay, yes, they have worked directly with the Fed to create this environment, but the only entity that has the availability to create cash out of nothing, to devalue the currency, to create inflation is the Federal Reserve. They're the ones who do it. They're responsible for monetary policy. You understand? The rest of it is just a blame game. And they think you're too dumb to know it. I happen to know that's not the case. Currently, today, the pace at which global debt is rising has accelerated beyond that of any other time in history. And this mechanism is what is directly responsible for mass currency devaluation. Wow, Greg, did you see the future? Loss of purchasing power, and guess what, people? I said inflation. Yeah, inflation is there too. Inflation, right there. You see it? Currently, the world economy, despite vast debt expansion, is slowing at its fastest pace on record. This mechanism, the mechanism of vast debt expansion and thus accelerated currency purchasing power losses, creates a need for more central bank issued notes. As the currency continues to lose purchasing power, it takes more currency to purchase the same goods. Sound about right to you? I think you would have to agree. Currency creation is debt creation, which is itself inflationary / purchasing power negative. So the need for more currency creation debt expands even faster. And that's what they're doing to us. They're destroying us. They're inflating us to death. And then at the same time, they're telling us, oh, we're going to fix it. The same people who put us here, we're supposed to believe that they're the ones that are going to help us, like our loving, caring representatives who can't get their act together. Really, honestly, do you see the gravity of the situation that we're in? It's unfreaking believable. The number one goal of every central bank on earth is a debt expansion. Okay. Debt is the only product of a central bank. You know this already. And the more debt a central bank can issue or is allowed to issue or is called on to issue, the stronger they become. Now you got Trump, puppet number one. Kamala, puppet number two, saying, we both promise you the same damn thing, and we're going to inflate you to death because we're both working with the Fed to promise you lower rates. And what are they doing? They cut 50 basis points. They're going to cut more for the rest of this year. They're going to cut more for the rest of next year. You people, really, honestly, do you not see what's going on here? Make it up. You can't do it. It's impossible. Today is hyper-economics, again, fostering a grand illusion. Does that sound or even look right to you? I would have to say, yeah. Hypereconomics is also responsible for the stock market hitting a series of new all-time highs. I could have wrote this today. With now the S&P 500 having its longing winning streak since the financial crisis. Well, it did end, but we're back there again. Now, the fact is this. We are in a full-blown, full-on economic hyperdebt nightmare crisis, which is deliberately being engineered. Man, I tell you, I don't have a crystal ball. None of us do. But if this didn't nail it to the wall, I don't know what did. Currency devaluation, especially artificially suppressed bond yields as central banks buy more debt. This started exponentially in June. I wrote this before it all even happened. Can't make it up. will continue to create massive price action distortions across the spectrum of asset classes. Does this sound like it could not possibly be more correct? Yeah, I think we're all on the same page there, people. It's just beyond belief what we're seeing here. But you remember, focus on this. Look where Trump is telling you to look. Look where Kamala is telling you to look. They're both working with the Fed because they're promising you lower rates. And that's going to screw you harder than you can possibly be screwed again. We don't need this. We do not need lower rates. We do not need a weaker currency. You want a strong economy? You turn these things around. We have no one here to tell us the truth. If Trump were a real leader, if he had any guts in his body, Kamala, same thing. What would they be telling you? We don't need this, people. What we need is higher rates. What we need is a stronger economy. Neither one can tell you that because they're both liars. And you know where lies come from, not from up there, from down there. That's who they are. You understand? They reveal themselves. By their fruit, we will know them. Does that sound familiar to you, those that read the Bible at all? You can't make it up if you try to. There's no possible way on earth, off this earth, or anywhere freaking else, man. Very disappointing today. We only got 1,175 people here. I guess they're not concerned about any of this stuff. Good. You are. And that's all I need. Lions. People that understand what's happening and why. No, these other people have no clue what's going on here. 357 thumbs up. That's pathetic. But okay, whatever. I guess I'll take what I can get, man. I want stuff out there. It's up to you guys and girls. You know, honestly, Mitch, thank you. And the Crypto Wave, thank you too. We ride this mania to the promised land. Man, I tell you, man, the promised land. We're being destroyed here, man. We're being wiped out. This is going to be, we're already here. We're already there. It's happening everywhere. And there are so many people that write to me, Greg, I don't see what's going on. You don't see it. Why? Because you're deliberately blind, I would imagine. How could you not be aware of what's happening? People don't know because they're not being told what's happening. They're looking towards false leaders, false gods, whatever it might be, to lead them to the promised land. And they're being led to their own downfall. They're being led to their own destruction. The outcry is going to be so unbelievably incredible. You're going to hear it from around the world as people are sucked dry, as they're being systematically eradicated and destroyed. Are we on the same page here? I think most of us would have to agree. So you are the elite. The 1,200 of you that are here right now, get it. You understand? And some people just never will. They just sit back. They do nothing. We're people of action. What we have done, you and me, is found a way, and I can't imagine a better way than what we're doing, what we've been doing for many, many years now, turning the tables on this, betting against the system, using every avenue that we can to allow the system to work for us and not against us. Jeffrey, thank you. Wow, buddy. I appreciate that. Now, with regard to the economy, we can fix this. We can fix it, people, but we don't have anyone here to help us. Not Trump, not Kamala. They're selling you the same lie. They're selling you the same lie. They're working with the Fed to lower rates. They're working with the Fed to keep the currencies artificially suppressed and devalued here. We need the polar opposite of this, man. Wake up. And with the Fed, they're the root cause of every problem. You can talk about your rights being taken away and everything else. If you're not alive to exercise those rights, because that's what they're doing to you, you're being destroyed. What good is it? What good is any of it? Are we on the same page? I tell you, man, I just don't get it sometimes. I feel like, all of you get it, but you don't understand. Read through the comments from this video. Oh, Greg is wrong about Trump. Oh, Greg is wrong about Kamala. Yeah. You can't make this stuff up, man. These people think that they actually have puppets that are going to work for them and not against them. Did we not learn anything from the Biden administration, from the Trump administration? Biden's going to be Harris, okay? Trump is going to be himself. We're getting destroyed with debt under Trump that was hyperballooned, doubled. He doubled what Obama did in one term, working directly with the Fed. This guy wanted negative rates and a weaker currency back then. Why do you think he's all giddy and spraying his shorts all over the place? Well, what the Fed's doing now? And Kamala calling for the same thing. It seems like she's parroting Trump. Are you noticing this? Trump says something, she adopts it. Trump says, oh, I'm the crypto king. She becomes the crypto queen. Trump says, I promise you lower rates, which is, of course, working directly with the Fed and, of course, currency devaluation. She says the same thing. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. The only difference is, I guess, with corporate taxes. On the Trump's plan so far, what I can see is he's going to make it easier for these corporations to become even wealthier than they are, paying less in taxes than you do or me, which, of course, helps fulfill the corporate agenda. You ain't getting your jobs back. If you believe, if someone's trying to sell you that, oh, we're going to make these corporations even richer, you're going to get your job back and you're going to earn more cash, which is being devalued. You got another thing coming. It ain't happening. It's the corporate agenda. You can't escape it. It's going to be fulfilled no matter what happens. We have solutions, you and me. We've offered them. No one's listening. No one's listening to us at all. They won't. There's just no way. We are in this by ourselves, okay? And that makes it a beautiful thing too, because we got this family. It's a worldwide phenomenon, I believe, honestly, and it's catching on. More people are listening. And that's where it comes down to you guys and girls, man. Anyway, I really hope audio problems, you guys, maybe it's this storm. I don't know if you guys can't hear me or anything, but yeah, exactly, man. Look, I'm with you on this. Our Alchemist, yes, indeed. Buy Bitcoin, XRP, crypto's pretty much across the board. The whole space is so undervalued. Silver, still of all time, the most undervalued asset. Israel, thank you. I appreciate that. It's crazy. Gold. You know I love gold. All right. I love gold. I still believe it's the second most undervalued asset, other than like oxygen and water and all this. I mean, I'm talking about assets here, the tangible things. Silver number one, gold number two, platinum, palladium at number three. Rest of the commodities, I don't know, man. They're all in a basket somewhere. That's my take on all this. You know this. We're doing the right things, period, the end. Oh, by the way, if you're interested, President Trump or whatever, people get aggravated when I say President Trump. Former President Trump, if that makes you happy, does have a $100 1-ounce silver coin that you can buy off his campaign site. I guess it's for a donation as well. So, I mean, look, $100, silver's going way above $100. No doubt about it, in my view here, based upon the Dow gold ratio and gold silver ratio. If you feel like buying a Trump silver coin, they're $100, I believe, or $99. I forget what it is, something like that. All right, look, audio is off, huh? Interesting. I don't know what's going on. At least Trump can think and reason, and he can lie. He can lie, and he's lying right to your face. And I guess you're buying it. You're drinking the Kool-Aid. These people are not for you, man. They're against you. They're working against you. You know how Trump and Kamala, you know how they know they're working against you? Because they've aligned themselves with our enemy number one. Thinking and reasoning and lying and come up with fake stories, that's a lot of what Trump does. We get it. Trump is a master at one thing, and he really is. I'm going to give the guy credit where credit's due. Trump can dig deep, find out what you're afraid of, okay, and then tell you he's the guy that's going to fix it. And even make things up that aren't real and make you afraid of it and said he's going to fix it. The master of deception, in my view, that's Trump. And Kamala, yeah, I can't even say it's a thing. It's a creature as well. They're not human. In my view, Trump nor Kamala is human. They don't possess a human quality. They're not on our side. They've aligned themselves with the Federal Reserve, and that makes them our enemy. Does that sound about right to you? Yeah, right, Tom. Truth Social. It's laughable. The name itself tells you it's a freaking lie across the board. It's a joke. The joke is not on me or you because we're lions and we can see through the garbage. Anyway, people, look, you and I, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna open this up for you guys and girls to whatever you want. You want to talk about specific things. Mom, don't even make me do mummy man. I can't. I have to. Don't have to deal with Biden anymore. I don't want to. Oh, the man is another. It doesn't. It doesn't even look like it's alive to me. Let's not even go there. All right. With. Here's another enemy. He's another guy that has not a human. It's not human either, in my view. Digital Revolution is admitting that he has TDS. Yeah, I think people who are afflicted with the belief that Trump is some kind of savior deity clearly have TDS, and I do feel sorry for you, Digital Revolution, that you are afflicted with that disease process. It looks like a lot of you have it. It sounds like a personal problem. I wish I could help you with that. Unfortunately, I cannot. You're gonna have to deal with it on your own. When to buy property. Look, man, I can tell you what's going to happen here. It's pretty obvious. The mechanism of artificially suppressed rates and currency devaluation is going to continue to cause the price of everything to continue to inflate. Don't take my word for it. It's now it's being announced. Where did I put that, man? I forget where I put it. Yeah. Investors are finally experiencing the everything bull market. Everything's going to go up on the back of what's happening here. Should be pretty obvious. You know what I mean? It's. I would rather own. Let me say this too. I would rather own things than have to pay for someone else's future, renting, for example, or whatever. I don't want to pay someone else. I want to own things. That's really what the difference is between the rich and those people who are going to remain in some kind of a servitude. You understand? The rich people don't have a lot of cash laying around. It's the truth. Rich people have assets. That's what they have. That's what makes the difference. And most people borrow their way through life. And it's a fast track into financial obscurity. So even in this environment, I would rather own real estate than have to rent, or if that's where the question was going. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy, man. But this is just too simple. All this stuff, honestly. If there's a problem with this audio, it might be the weather, people. I do apologize for that. Anyway, look, I think we are having a problem here because I'm having an issue with this chat, at least on my end over here. Anyway, look, we're gonna end this here. I wish I could. This is getting really bad out here, and it sounds good. Thank you, I appreciate that. I don't know, something weird is going on with this, but I really think it's the weather. This is getting so nasty out here. I hope I'm here tomorrow morning. If for some reason the power's out in the morning, you won't see me. You know what I'm saying? Obviously. But I'm going to try. Look, I think this is important what we're doing here, people. We're putting this together. We have a plan. We're executing it. Specifically, we know what we're doing and we know why we're doing it. We understand who our enemies are. We know what they want from us. And I'm including Kamala and Trump in this. They're our enemies here. They're not friends of the people here. They may want you to think that. They're going to distract you with look over here, don't look over there. They can't tell you the truth. No one can tell you the truth anymore. In this environment, the truth is treason. And then you get accused of all kinds of things here. You can't make it up. You really just can't do it. It's an impossibility. Pork Rolls here, my buddy. Lava's here. All my friends here. You're all so great. I love all you guys and girls so much. Yeah, I'll take care of I have two dogs. Coco is afraid of this, obviously, so he's getting snuggled on the couch. But Vega, my other dog, she's so old, this poor thing. She barely can hear. She's going blind. She's the cutest little thing. Anyway. All right, people. Weather derivatives? Yes, absolutely. Why not? Julius, thank you. Everything is gonna be reduced to a token or a derivative. There's no doubt about it. That's the new system. We know what the new system is going to be. It couldn't possibly be simpler for us. Everything is going to be reduced into a tradable asset, including your history, your potential future, what medications you're on. Everything about you is going to be known and traded on the open market. That's what we're being reduced to. It's almost biblical. In fact, it probably is biblical, right, George? Start going shoot. You got to own this stuff, man. I mean, come on, it's just a no-brainer. You got to own stocks at this in this environment. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I've been told for years that I'm leading my lions here to the slaughter. My lions are sheep. They're gonna be destroyed. And what have we done? What have we done? We've been buying it all for years. And what have we done? We've made out, man, and we're paying it forward. Right, Jonathan? Of course, we should be paying attention to the BRIC countries, but this is not going to end with it. Look what they're doing now. War. More war. We're in World War III. In case you don't know, this is it. We're already here. Most people have no idea. They think it's over there. It's coming here as well. There's just no doubt about it, right, Lance? You know what I'm talking about. It's just the way it's going to go. There's no doubt about it. This is what they're doing to us. And people are being distracted, lied to, deceived, kept in some kind of a counterintelligence psyop on a grand scale. Yes, that would be great. Little puppets. Dude, that is absolutely brilliant. Little Campbell and Trump. I can make them attack each other. I think they're in some back room getting it on, laughing at all of us here. They think this is real. They think this is real. Shh. Yeah, and they're laughing. They're laughing. You hear Kamala, that thing she does, and then Trump. They're laughing at us. They're laughing at us. None of it's real. None of it appears to be. It's a uniparty. Two birds, two wings of the same bird, man. And we're being destroyed. Make it up, man. Make it up. Make it up. Strawberry Blonde Telecaster. Nice instrument. Nice instrument. All right. Yes, it is a war. It's a war and they're winning. And we have no one here. Nobody. To help us here. They're both working directly with the Fed. Let me explain this to you in case you don't know. The one that is selected will be the one that is committed more to helping the Fed than the other. If it's Trump, you know he's the traitor of the highest order. If it's Kamala, you know she's the traitor of the highest order. Whoever they put behind the Resolute desk is a traitor to you and me and the rest of this nation and the rest of the world. They're aligning themselves with the Fed. They're both doing it now. They're both sucking up to the Fed right now, promising what the Fed wants to do. And the Fed is more than happy to oblige. It's amazing. This is a central bank's dream to have not one, but two puppets. Doesn't matter who they put behind the Resolute desk. They're both promising you the same thing the Fed wants. It's unbelievable. It really is, at least in my view. And it should be pretty obvious to all of us. All right, guys and girls, we're going to get out of here, man, because I may be losing power soon. I'm looking out my window here, and it is vicious. So let's get out of here. Love all of you with all I got. I mean that. We need each other. People, please share this stuff on your social networks. Get it out there. We got to get this word out. I'm counting on you, all right? With that said, wish me luck. Let's wish us all luck. We're here in Florida. Some people aren't going to survive this. I'm going to tell you right now. And if you believe in a higher power like I do, the guiding force in my life, you know that. The Almighty Father here. If you believe in that, please do say a prayer for these people, because some people are not going to fare well in this, man. And it's very sad. All right. I will hopefully see you in the morning. If you don't see me, I'm okay. All right. It's just that the power went out. But I'm going to try my best to be here. All right. We got each other's backs always. See you in the morning.